Hey everyone, welcome back to another Becca Moment. Today I want to talk to you about the Kony 2012 video. By now, many of you have seen it come across your Facebook pages, your Twitter, you've heard about it, and you've either watched it, had an opinion, maybe had that opinion changed, or you're thinking, oh my gosh, what is she talking about, Kony 2012? So here, I'm just going to walk you through my experience. So I started seeing it come across my news feeds on my social media. And I just ignored it. You know why? Because I try to stay away from things that make me think too hard, too deep. If it's political, it looked political from the picture. I just didn't want to have to be forced to make a decision, weigh in, maybe make a stand. I just wanted to ignore it. So a couple people had specifically said, Becca, please watch this. You influence a lot of people. You know, I've checked it out on Snopes, blah, blah, blah. Then I'm still ignoring it. And then this morning I wake up and I'm thinking, you know, I think I need to, it's just cooking on the back of, in the back of my brain, taking up some space. Then my daughter calls me and she says, Mom, have you seen this video? You've got to watch it. Please watch it. So I turned it on and found myself watching this 30-minute story. I watched this story of some young college-aged men who went to Africa and found their passion, found something that touched their heartstrings. They met with these African children, one in particular, and something inside of them said, you know, what is happening here is wrong. And they made a promise to this kid that they were going to show up for this kid and they were going to make a difference. Now, I watched the video and I'm thinking, that is amazing. And I'm thinking, I'm feeling a little small. I mean, I'm trying to make a difference in the world with my Becca Moments and the few books I've written and the people that I coach and in my business. But I'm looking at this huge scale about something that seems so majorly important and I'm feeling small. And I'm thinking to myself, why do I even bother? Why do I even bother to show up and try and make a difference? And then that voice comes to me, the one from my maker and creator, the one that I pray that I will be in contact with every day and make every choice and decision based on the higher and greatest good and joy for my life and my loved ones and those people I impact. So I get this little thought that says, you know what? Everybody has a different mission. Everybody has a different purpose. And yours is not Kony 12. I'll tell you what yours is. People could rest and have faith in knowing what there was if they would just connect with me. So anyway, so again, I'm just walking you through a lot of things that have transpired as I'm watching this movie. So let's keep going. Okay, so I make peace with that. I say, okay, I'm going to still keep showing up in the way that I feel to show up in the world. But I watch this and I'm just really, really drawn in and I'm really moved. And I'm seeing all these young people. I'm seeing all this movement grow. I'm seeing how a voice of 3 college-aged young men go to 41 million hits on YouTube. It was a 9-year process. So at the end they say, you watch the video and it invites you to be part of making a stand for human rights, making a stand for the value of lives of others. You know, purchase this $30 kit and help us spread the world. We cannot make change if we're not aware of change. So I'm thinking, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to buy this $30 kit. I'm going to do that. I'm going to sow into these lives. And I'm thinking about how the saying goes that all it takes for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. And I'm thinking, you know, I don't want to be part of that. So I'm going to do my little bit, and I'm going to share this video. So I courageously do what I don't like to do, and I get on there and I say, you know, I share the quote, you know, we've got to make a stand. And when we make stands in our life, we unlock a part of ourselves, a personal power and ability to recognize that we can make a difference, that we can take our difference and connect with other people's differences and go from this little tiny group of 3 to to millions. So I do that. I make my post. A few minutes later, my greatest fear happens, right? So someone comes along and they say, Becca, you know what, I'm all for making change, but, you know, have you really researched this? Because there's a lot of questions about, you know, the founders of this group and how valid it is, you know, and where's all the money going? Do you know most of their money goes not to the action-taking process? So I think, oh, see, you know, I shouldn't make a stand. Do you ever feel that way? So now my feeble stand is in question. So I spend the rest of the day researching and thinking about it, and here's what I know. And here's what I felt from the very beginning when that person said, hey, have you really researched this? My first thought was, whether or not they are carrying out their voice 100% perfectly, because I don't believe that any of us are perfect and will ever have a perfect plan. I mean, Google shuts down for a day, 2 years ago, you know, Toys R Us has recalls, Toyota has recalls. I don't know any great person that doesn't, or company or strategy that doesn't have its weaknesses and its holes. All right? So nothing's perfect. But what I do admire and what I do believe is important is that someone finds their voice, they find their passion, and they put into motion a plan of action to bring about the truth that's in their heart. You know, I think the $30, even if it didn't go anywhere further, would be well worth it for the model of making things happen that was shown to us today. So a lot of people are watching it saying, well, you know, hey, why are we spending money helping, you know, other countries when we have so much issues here? And I say to you people who say that, okay, great. Instead of just saying that, what are you doing to make a difference here? And I think that lots of times we say, well, I would make a difference, and I think we need to make a difference here in our own society, but I don't know how. And see, I think this is another gift in the message of what Kony 2012 did. They showed us. They said, here is what we want to make the people of the world aware of. And even their mission statement says that we're all about bringing awareness to this problem of Joseph Kony, and we want to make people aware of it, and we're going to do it through film and creativity. They're living their mission statement, okay? Now, millions of people are aware. Okay, so they said, okay, we need to make it aware. This is how we're going to make it aware, make people aware. They do that. Then what do they do next? They say, okay, now that we've got your attention, this is how we're going to we feel if we make him famous, we make him so everybody knows, then actions will be taken to shut him down. So we've got to make everybody know. How can you, little you, make this happen? By all of us joining together, we'll get the kit, we'll wear the bracelets, we'll put on t-shirts, we'll put up poster boards, we'll put up, you know, they've got this whole plan of action to make this awareness. It is probably one of the most brilliant marketing campaigns that we have seen. So, you know, most of us spend a lot of money and a lot of energy wondering how we can make a difference, what we could do, how can we show up. We pay billions of dollars for audio cassettes and CDs and books to teach us how to find our voice and put it into action and change the world. So even if we don't weigh in on, you know, is this a good cause? Is this worth it? Are these guys credible enough? Even if we don't judge them, let's look at what we can take away from their actions. What can we learn? Because you know what? You know, I believe that if we look at these things differently, we're going to get different results. You know, I looked at being kidnapped and abandoned differently than some people, and I'm enjoying a very successful life. Because I look at everything differently with a positive action, a positive mindset. What can I get out of this experience? What can I learn from it? What can I take away that will benefit me? And take my energy and use it to move forward in a positive direction instead of getting caught up and wasting time and pointing fingers and this or that. My life is better for it. And that's what I'm hoping that you will take away from this Becca moment. That you will take away, what can I learn from this that will just change my life? What did they do right here? What did they do right? So cook on that until we meet here again for another Becca moment.